Welcome back, guys. I'm here to teach you guys on how I draw my support and resistance level and also how I use it in making my trading decisions. So this is a quick one. I wouldn't want to waste too much of your time, guys. I will still do a more longer and more in-depth video on this. So I just want to introduce it to you guys for now. So let me share my screen and let me share my screen. So let me share my screen now. Also, I hope you guys are seeing me properly. Yeah. So let's start. Why is my screen not loading up? Load up now, load up, load up, load up, load up, load up. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using a clean charts GPUSD. Also, I'm going to use, okay. I'm thinking about something. Let me do everything once today. Let me do both the in-depth and introduction. So on how I trade how I trade my strategy. So it will not only now be only the introduction. I want to do everything once so that I will push it back to the community for you guys to learn how I trade using my strategy. So number one, I'm a swing trader and I trade using the daily time frame. So my major tools, what I use to trade majorly are what? Support and resistance and trend lines. You guys know what support and resistance is. So support and resistance, for instance, this is a support here. Support is any place that market bounces up from. So let's put it like that. Ideally, I love using my rectangular box to map up my major support level. Then I like to use my horizontal ray to map out my minor level. So for instance, now what I mean is that this rectangular box here is a major level from the monthly time frame. That is why it's a major level. Why this horizontal ray here is a minor level. I'm coming, guys. Yeah, so why this one here is a minor level from the weekly and daily time frame. So let me clean this off for our chart to look neat and nice. Let me clean this. I will draw it again. So I want you guys to learn on how I use my strategy. And I'm going to be using a replay button also. So let's start from the monthly time frame on how I draw my support and resistance. Mind you, this is on DSY. I use DSY as an indicator. Now, I want you to be in depth now. So what do I mean by that? You know that DSY is the world currency. So DSY has a direct impact on every other currencies because it is a world currency. For instance, now, as you can see, the currency pair Euro USD. Euro USD is tied to USD. Is tied to DSY. So what that means is that whatever DSY does, Euro USD tends to do the opposite. And if you also go to Euro USD chart and you flip it upside down, if you invert Euro USD charts, you see that it is the opposite of DSY. I don't know if you understand what I mean. What I mean is that I trade what I see on DSY on Euro USD. Don't worry, I will show you guys a perfect example of what I mean. So I use DSY a lot. That's why I use it as an indicator. So first of all, how do I draw my support and resistance levels? As you can see, this is a level here. This is a level. This is any level you see, I mapped out with a box, a rectangular box. You know that level is a strong major level from the higher time frame. So support and resistance, this is what I mean by support and resistance. So now let's say that price is moving like this. then it reverse, move like this, reverse, go, move like this, then come back here. So now, how do you spot your support and your resistance? Support is where price comes and have a bounce up. Support, use that word support. The resistance is where the market gets and it cannot break above that zone. Then the price will resist it and it will keep selling to the downside. So that's what we mean by support and resistance. So now how can we support? How can we support our support and resistance using this my markup here? So as you can see here, can serve as a support. And here also is our resistance. Because if you watch, let me zoom in. If you watch, you see that price used here many times as a support level. It came back here, it bought, came back, bought, it played around the middle, it came back again, and also bought. So here is a support. The same thing as resistance. It sold up from here, came back here again. It couldn't go higher. Instead of that level pushed the price down. It so go back again. It couldn't go higher. It pushed it down again. So this is what I mean by support and resistance. So that is it. So first of all, I use my monthly time frame as my main trend. So what I mean by that, I use my monthly time frame to know in a longer term what the market is likely to do. That's what I mean by main trend. So then I use my weekly time frame as a minor to know my minor trend, like what the market is doing currently now. So that's what I mean by main trend and current trend. So now this monthly time frame, you can see that here is a strong level here. As you can see, like with using what I told you before, or the markup I just did a few minutes ago, you see that price couldn't go higher at this level here. Also, it sold off, and again, it came back up here again. It couldn't also go higher. It sold off again. Then here, it couldn't use it as a resistance. That price couldn't also push it down like it did here and here again. Instead, it broke above it, and now it came here. It couldn't go lower. So it used it as a support. And also, we did the same thing here. So as you can see, and this level here was started being effective since 3rd January 2017. So this is a very strong zone on the monthly time frame here. It's a very strong zone on the monthly time frame here. So what is the trend now? What is this monthly time frame telling me now overall? Remember, I use my monthly time frame as my major trend, as my overall trend to know what the market is going to do on a longer run, on a long run. So now, if you look closely again, you see that there's a minor level here. This is where my horizontal ray comes to play. See, there's a minor zone here. If you watch, okay, sorry. If you watch here, you see that what's happening. My horizontal ray is not. So sorry for the break in transmission. I don't know what's happened. My network just. My network just went off. So let me share my screen again. So now, if you watch closely, you see that there is a minor level here also. Yeah, this is a resistance level because price failed to go above this zone twice. It's touched the zone, price pushed it down. The level pushed the price down. It came back again, it pushed it down. So now, and you know that market moves from zone to zone. What do I mean by that? If you look here, this two zone here, this is a major strong zone here. So price broke above the zone. It came back again to this zone. It moved from here to here, came back to the zone again, moved back to that zone again, came back to the zone again. So you see, it moves from zone to zone. That's what I mean by price moves from zone to zone. So what is this monthly time frame telling me? How do I interpret all this market now? How do I use it to make my trading decision? So now you come back now, you see that the monthly time frame now is currently the monthly chart. The price now on the monthly time frame is currently on top of this major zone here. And there's also a minor zone here. And if watching where the candles are printing, as you can see, this candle has already left a week. See what it did also here. It left a week, it left a week, it left a week. And you know, market move from zone to zone. So now this monthly time frame now is telling me that market is still bullish because the market might also decide to buy from this zone here and also get to this zone. Remember, zone to zone. So I will stop being bullish on this market if there's a break below of this zone, like something like this. Then that is when I will know that this monthly chart has already started being bearish. And I'm going to position myself to take a trade here to buy this all the way down to this zone again, zone to zone. So that's it now. So this monthly time frame, I am still bullish. So my trend on the monthly time frame is bullish. So that's how I basically do it. Then I'll then go over to the weekly time frame to know my current trend. So what is the market currently doing on this weekly chart? Remember, monthly charts, we are currently bullish. So weekly chart is where I come and know what the market is doing on at the moment. So what pattern is it printing here for me to know whether it actually wants to confirm to the bias of my monthly time frame, which is to go long to this zone, or what is like monthly time frame is where I come and watch how the market is reacting on my zone. Then daily time frame is where I actually do my entries, and I don't just go down to daily time frame. I just click buy or sell. I also have what I look at for, what I watch out for, my confluences for me to go short on or long on using the daily time frame. So now looking at the weekly chart, as you can see, the same thing that I also explained on the monthly chart. The market is currently on top of this zone here also. And currently, if you watch the way the last weekly candle, this is on a Sunday afternoon, 2:19 p.m. I don't know if you can see that. So as you can see now, the weekly chart has printed something like a bullish engulfing candle. And as you all know, a bullish engulfing candle is a reversal pattern, and it happened on the weekly time frame. That is a strong reversal candlestick pattern. So this thing now is also confirming my bias that I have also, and I have also on the monthly time frame, that the market is what bullish. So weekly time frame now has already started confirming. Previous week it was bearish because see this big red candle. Let me zoom in properly for you to see what I mean. See this big red candle here, as you can see. So, but now this last week it closed with this strong bullish candle, indicating that the bulls are still present in this market. So now, monthly time frame now, my overall trend is saying that it is bullish. Weekly time frame now has also confirmed the same thing. It is bullish. Then go over to my daily time frame now to spot my entries. So this is my thought process. So this is how I analyze the chart. This is how I do my top analysis. I start from the monthly. I'll analyze and see what the monthly time frame is saying. Then I come down to the weekly time frame and see what the weekly time frame is saying. Then daily time frame is where I do my entries. And now I'm going to show you what I usually see on a zone for me to know that it is time to take this trade. Now, I'm already on this trade. I entered this trade on GPCAD. Remember, I use DSY as an indicator. So now, this is what the market is saying on the daily time frame. This is a daily time frame, and this is currently on that level that we spotted on the monthly time frame and on the weekly time frame. Now, if you watch at this daily time frame price now, look at what it did here. This is a daily time frame. You see how price slowed down around that zone here. I want you to watch and see something. Just watch and observe. Did you see how the market slowed down? How many days did this market slow down around here? So let's count it together. Let's count it together. This is one. After this bearish candle here, it's consolidated here, 1, 2. Then on the third day, it closed with this strong bullish candle here, indicating that buyers are already stepping into this market. That always is my entry chart pattern. Whenever a market comes to a minor or major zone on a daily time frame and it starts showing signs of weaknesses. What do I mean by signs of weaknesses? It starts to consolidate. And whenever it closes in the direction I want to trade with a strong candle, for example, if I wanted to go short here, whenever I see this consolidation and I see this bearish candle close here, that is my entry reason. That is my entry trigger. Then whenever I enter a trade, for instance, now this long position here, whenever if I'm currently on this trade on GPCAD, like I sold, this is how I use DSO as an indicator. Now I'm going to explain that to you again. So now currently my stop loss is usually below this range. Sometimes I used to give it small space, but it will normally come below the range here. Then I used to target minimum of 1:2. That means if I'm risking 1% of my account, I'm targeting to gain 2%. So now, and I usually put my take profits at a minor level. That is where I put my take profits. So that is how I do my analysis. Then, whenever after I analyze and see that DSY is about to gain strength, then what I then go over to Euro USD or GBP USD to take the corresponding trade, to take the opposite trade. Now, let me explain what I mean. Like as you can see now, GBP USD has already gained strength with how many candles? One, two, three, three green candles now. Go over to Euro USD. You see, almost the same thing is happening, but it is inverse. As GSY is buying, Euro USD is currently selling. So that's what I mean by whenever I analyze GSY and I see that GSY is going to gain strength, I go over to Euro USD or GBP USD to choose the one that the price action hits and the daily candle. I don't just go blindly and sell or buy. I watch the chart pattern and how the candles are reacting. So you see, this is also green, three bearish candle, one, two, three. DSY was three bullish candle. Then this one was three bearish candle. So you see, and I entered that DSY trade at the close of the first bullish candle. This is here. So that is how I basically use DSY to trade. Whenever I see that DSY is going to get strong, I just go back to Euro USD and GBP USD and choose the one that has the cleanest price action and the one that has a higher risk to reward ratio on the trade. So that is what I do, but I don't do it blindly. I just go and I also analyze. So I didn't take the trade on Euro USD and GBP USD because the risk to reward was pretty bad. The risk to reward was not good on the trade. Like this was meant to be my overall target here. Here, this level here. But as you can see, I wish I have taken the trade short position here at the close of this candle here. And my stop loss ideally will be above the resistance level here. And my TP will be here. As you can see, the risk to reward is not encouraging. The risk to reward is 1.63. As you can see, so it's not up to 2%. So that's why I didn't take the trade on GP card, on Euro USD. I mean, also the same thing on GP USD. The risk to reward also it was not encouraging. So that's how I took the trade on GP card. So now, how did I know that? Also, I've already showed you guys on how I spotted that DSY is going to be bullish. Then now, remember I told you guys I don't just come over to Euro USD or GBP USD to trade blindly. I also analyze to see if it's confirmed, because most times this correlation doesn't work. Most times DSY might be bullish, but GBP USD might also be bullish with it. Yeah, it happens most of the time. So that's why I don't just, because DSY is about to buy, I'll just go over to Euro USD or GBP USD and sell. No, that's why I don't do that. So what did I see that made me to know that GBP USD is going to sell and Euro USD is going to sell? So now let me start with the monthly time frame. I use the monthly time frame for my overall trend of my markets. Then I use my weekly time frame for my current trend. Then I use daily time frame for my entries. So now going over to the monthly time frame, let me delete all these things so that my charts will be clean and nice and sweet. Let me delete this one. I'll draw it again. I want to explain something. So now looking at this monthly charts, where can you see the support and the resistance levels? So this is basically how I trade. This is how I trade. It is not complicated and it's not hard. It's just very easy. So now if you watch, you see that here, as you have already seen, is a very strong zone, because see here, price used it as a support, used here as a support, came back here, although used it as a support, but the support wasn't as massive as this two. Then it broke below it, touched it, used it as a resistance. It resisted, it couldn't break above. It sold, came back again, sold, And ideally, it was meant to use, there's also a zone here. So it broke below the zone and it couldn't use here as a resistance. Then it used here as a support. So as you can see, price moves from that zone to zone. This is what I'm telling you. Price moves from zone to zone. This is why I draw these levels first on the monthly time frame. As you can see, this is the current range we are trading on now. These two zones. Price came here, it came back to this zone. It bought to the back to that zone, came back to this zone. Now it looks like it is going to go back to this zone, or it might likely come back to this zone. So you see, you are trading between those two zones. So that's how I use my support and resistance to know the range. Like I know that yes, whatever happens, price might decide to come back and touch this zone or this zone. It's a two-way thing. So now, but how do I know where it is likely to go? Like, how will I know if it will continue to buy, or if it will continue, if it will come back and test the zone? That is how I use DSY. That's where DSY comes in, because DSY is currently on top of a clear zone. This one is clear. This one is very confusing because this is a very strong, healthy candle monthly close. So, but DSY's own is very clean and clear. It's currently on top of the zone, and it is likely to buy from that zone. So, what it means that if DSY eventually buys from that zone that is clear, it is likely to push GPUSD down. I don't know if you're getting this thing. So this is how I use DSY as an indicator. So as you can see now, it's clear and clean, no complication. There's another minor zone here also, but you see that one clearly on a weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame. Don't worry, if you have any question, you can just ask me in the comment section. I'll reply. I will definitely reply. On the setting, I'll reply. So there's a minor level here. There's a minor level here. Let me make sure I'm drawing it properly. Yes. Yes, there's a minor level here. And as you can see, all the way from here, sold off, came back, he couldn't go higher. He resisted the market, he pushed the market down, again pushed it down, again pushed it down. He broke above it, used it as a support, as a stepping stone, bought, came back again as a stepping stone, bought, came back again, broke below it, sold, and again. Now, price is currently on that major zone. So this is where I knew that this market is going to conform to what DSY is saying, because DSY was also on top of a major zone.